All right, welcome in everybody. Joe Powers here with you, hanging out on another episode of our GHSA All Access, and proud to have joining us today a longtime friend and getting out of GHSA into the GISA for a couple of minutes of conversation here, Mr. Bruce Lane, our friend from Trinity Christian here in Dublin, Georgia. Coach Lane, how you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for reaching out and giving us an opportunity to share about our program.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, there we go. Got a little video delay, but now I see you there with me. It's a pleasure to have you. Of course, we've been talking for a while, but first time chatting with you here at Trinity as you prepare for your, what is it now, third season, second season at
Second
Trinity?
season. Second
Sec-
season.
Second
Yes, sir.
season. Yeah, all right, Coach. Well, why don't you recap for our friends that may not be familiar with our conversational history? Tell everybody what brought you to Trinity and where you came from.
Well, this is year 41 in coaching and year 37, I believe, as a head football coach. Maybe it's year 42 and 37. I think that's right. Um, and God's kind of used what we do. It's a ministry. It's not just coaching and teaching. It's a ministry sharing the gospel with the people we encounter. So we have coached in the state of Georgia for the most part. We've also been in the Houston, Texas area for 7 years and also in South Carolina. So we've been blessed to be at some really good programs with some really great athletes and parents and community support. So Trinity, obviously growing up in Milledgeville and also coaching at John Millage from 95 through 2000. We played Trinity at that time, and there was always something special about their school, the surroundings, the community. And when the opportunity came about, we were certainly very happy at Bethlehem Christian, which is where we came from. We were there 4 years, and but Jeremy Blackstock had a coaching vacancy, and we had actually talked to them earlier uh, after Coach Fields passed away about the position. But at that time, I'd only been at Bethlehem for a year and didn't feel like that our work there was done. So, but they had another opening, and we it was a pretty rapid process, and started talking right around Christmas, and by the first of the year, we had made the commitment to make the move.
Yeah, I hear you, Coach, and that's where the history kind of comes from for us in conversation, of course, with Bethlehem Christian Academy, and now with a couple of your coaches that are on staff there with you at Trinity, Rob and Ben. We would all chat on the Rob, Ben, and Joe show there in the post game when you were at Bethlehem Christian. So now you got Rob and Ben there on the sidelines with you, and we're chatting at Trinity. So it's a lot of fun, and glad to have you here for season two.
It is, and we certainly appreciate not just this opportunity, but the work you've done with high school football over the last 5 years, at least from my relationship with you. And I think it's awesome in a community like ours to have people who care so much about the young people and about the sport of football to give them an opportunity to be highlighted each week.
Oh yeah, well, we certainly appreciate that, and of course, that is what it's about, Coach. As you know, and as all of our guests, we try to spend some time talking about the young men because that's really what's most important and what we want to focus on. And speaking of those young men, here in your first year at Trinity, first season 6-5, Region 1 and 2, and in the playoffs. Is that right?
Yes, it was, and we were coming. We inherited a football team that was, I believe, 2-9, and really had a hungry group of seniors. We had 11 seniors last year that really bought in, as well as the underclassmen, and hardworking group of coaches and great administrative and community support. And I think we surprised some people last year. I share with our kids we're not going to sneak up on anybody this year, but
That's right.
that's part of the transition. And obviously, as you go from year one to year two, typically, you really expect a lot of improvement, and we do too. Even though we lost a lot of kids, our kids' work ethic has been just off the charts this summer, and our numbers are down a little bit, but that's from losing that large senior class. So we're about 27 kids right now, down from 38. So really just, stayed about the same in terms of what we brought forward, and weren't able to replace, those seniors yet.
That's right. It's all about getting that funnel filled right and letting the people know that are coming in and looking to join Trinity, what that program is and all the excitement that you are building there. And like I said, surprised, maybe surprised some folks last year, 6-5 and in the playoffs and doing a great job. So I'm sure it'll get better and better. Those numbers absolutely will grow.
Well, I think that was first time in 6 years we'd had a winning season. So I think we did some other things, beat Gatewood on the road for the first time in 10 or 12 years, and had them on the ropes in the playoffs and kind of let them off the hook. So but we're really pleased with the progress we've made. We're not satisfied, but we're pleased with kind of where we are as we get ready to open camp here in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that was a 28-12 score over Gatewood there in the early part of the season. And, that's a pretty big program there. And when you come in, like I said, or you mentioned there just a second ago, not really on the winning side of the past few seasons. Then you come in and game 2, you say, hey, look, here's a top tier team in our region, and you knock those guys off. It raises some eyebrows. But a close game there in the playoffs that I'm sure could have gone either way. Unfortunately, probably ran out of time. But, Coach, looking into this year, what you've got coming up is a great group of kids that have been in year program 2 of Trinity's football program now. And what do you expect to see on the field?
Well, I just, you want to continue to build on the successes that you've had. Obviously, uh, the name that comes up when everybody starts talking about Trinity is Wade Register, who has just committed to the University of Georgia
Right.
as a punter. He's the number one punter in the nation. And we have had coaches all spring from the University of Texas, Louisville, Arkansas, South Carolina on campus, trying to recruit and watching him work out. So he's a good place to start. He also was 1,000-yard rusher on offense and 100 tackles on defense, and also, had 3 kicks of 47, 47, and 48 yards last year. So he's a weapon there. So obviously, that's something, a cornerstone of what you're going to try and do. We obviously lost some really good football players, but we've got some good ones coming back. I think of our sophomore Trip Mascaro, who's going to move over and play tight end for us. Has had a real good 7-on-7 season. Our quarterback right now looks to be Asher Evans, who's was an all-region player in 3 sports last year and all-state in baseball. So he'll be a sophomore at the quarterback spot and has looked really good this spring and this summer. Jacob Solly is another one of our seniors, played for us, transferred over from in the county last year. Will play some running back and some safety for us. I also think about um, Cody Register, who started for us at center last year, probably going to move him out to tackle on offense, and he also started at defensive end. Charlie Maffett, who's a cornerback for us, another starter. So, there's a lot of pieces still there. I think we return about 6 or 7 on offense. We took a hit on defense where we lost about 7 kids, including Anthony Frank Woj, who has signed to play uh, in Warner Robins with the technical junior college there.
Mhm.
So Central Georgia Tech, I think, and
That's right.
so he's a was a big part of it, as well as the 2 Shepherd kids and Ben Castro Proveda, Cruz Giles. Those guys did a great job for us, as well as the others.
Well, Coach, I mean, you went through a laundry list there of great names that are well known and around the Trinity Sports page, and of course here in the county and in the region. And you got Mr. Register there. Man, that was my next question. Talk about him, but yeah, what a great signee you had there at the University of Georgia, and what great exposure it is, Coach, to have that recognition coming to the campus, the coaches from around the country and top tier programs to get to see what you bring to the table there at Trinity, because in a county this size, which is something that I'm not familiar with when I grew up, right? We had one school in our county.
Right.
You got four schools here, and you guys had some of the biggest names in the country over there on campus with you. That's impressive.
Well, it is, and we are blessed as a community to have, as you said, four football programs and high schools in our area, and certainly those guys are tremendous coaches, and we wish them well this year. But Wade earned a lot of his recognitions through going to camps at Coles, and was all-state punter with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution,
Mhm.
Max Preps All-American. So his name was out there, and we felt really good about the foot traffic we had. So he had, four offers: the Naval Academy, Air Force, Missouri, uh, and Georgia Southern prior to deciding on, and also had an offer from Alabama, but chose to stay here. So we're proud of that. But another thing that people really don't realize is Anthony Frank probably had 21 or 22 offers as well. So mostly in the JUCO, you had a couple of Division II level, of mostly Division III. So folks are going to come back and they're going to see, and we've got some kids on our roster and that. Um, we feel like are capable of being successful on the next level, and we hope people in the community will notice that this is a place that you can be noticed and you can carry out your dream of playing on the next level.
Yes, sir. And coach, in that exposure, you've got regular season football that you're going to get to play. And looking at your schedule this year, you got the Brentwood, Gatewood, Edmund Burke, Augusta Prep, Windsor, Thomas Jefferson Academy. Just looking at the top side of your roster there over here to my left. Tell me what you see unfolding here this season. What are your thoughts about the competition and what you're going to do this year?
Well, I didn't get to make that schedule out, so I'm not sure I would have. At the top end of it, two of the first three were state champions last year in their particular classification.
Right.
Gatewood had been a state runner-up the year previously. Augusta Prep is a building program. Windsor made a transition from 8-man to 11-man last year after quite a few years of playing 8-man and winning championships there. Thomas Jefferson had been a perennial power in Class A, and they're kind of rebuilding. And Central Fellowship is always in every sport a big rival. So then you throw in Southland, uh, in Southwest Georgia, and Robert Toombs. I mean, there's no weak sisters on that schedule, so you got to be ready to play every week.
Yeah, I was just looking down the back half of your schedule over here, and it is every bit of a gauntlet there in the GISA ranks, no doubt about it. So coach, that's a lot of business, right? A lot of business that you got to stand on there coming into the season. But you got some friends over there that I'm familiar with having some fun with here in the studio. Rob and Ben and the coaching staff there at Trinity. Tell me what it's like, what it's been like for you in year one and year two here. How much fun are you guys having out there every day?
Oh, we are. It is a great coaching staff. I mean, I've been blessed through the years to really have some great coaching staffs. And I saw something on social media the other day, and I sent it out to our coaches. You can't be a great head coach without great assistant coaches, and I'm blessed in that regard. Ben has been our offensive line and defensive line coach this year. He's also going to kind of take on the duties of special teams. Rob, obviously, both Ben and Rob played at Mercer, and Rob was quarterback punter. Rob's been working with our quarterbacks and also offensive coordinator. And then Christian Lane, who's my son, and he and I have coached together for 7 or 8 years. He's our defensive coordinator. And then we have Tyler Green, who's really well known probably in this community from his years at East Lawrence. And he's heading up our middle school. And then just in the last week, we've added Jim Coleman, who played here. Great, great football player. Played over at Sanford, and he had helped us some in the spring with our track program. And we went to University of Tennessee, and we went to Georgia for clinic, and I think he kind of got the coaching bug. So we're really blessed in that regard to have a great coaching staff, and it is fun to go out there. They love kids, and I think that's the greatest quality, and probably the greatest compliment I could ever pay anyone who coaches is that I would allow them to coach my kid.
Yeah.
So that to me is, you want good people working with your kids, and parents want that, and they're certainly blessed to have those guys on staff at Trinity.
Oh, sure. And you're right on about that. I mean, a great group of men there. And as we talk to coaches, with the GHSA All Access here, we're not just in a region of the state. We cover the entire state of Georgia, and talk to coaches from corner to corner. And that's the thing that I love, is when you can find those coaches, and I find many, you can see what the focus is. And that's making great young men and, coaching kids up to be not only real good in the classroom, real good on the field, but just real good men in general. And you got a fine group there. And that's really what we talk about every day. We can draw it up in X's and O's,
Right.
but it is all about the game of life in the end, isn't it?
It is. The Jimmies and Joes will be there forever. The X's and O's, it's whoever has the, it used to be chalk glass, but now I guess it's dry erase pen,
Right.
can win. But our goal is to develop them not only physically, not only mentally, but most importantly, spiritually. And,
Right.
Trinity's mission is that. And we're trying to build kingdom leaders for the next generation.
That's it. Well, Coach, I tell you what, it's always fun to get to share some time with you. It's so much fun to have you here locally. I expect to be talking more with you, as opposed to just on every Friday night, which we got to speak with you at the end of football games. I look forward to talking to you again. And thank you so much for your time. As always, I'll give you the last word. Is there anything you'd like to share? Anything about the season unfolding where people can watch, listen to, or find information about Trinity School and the Trinity football program?
Well, certainly, we're going to play 5 home games. We'd love to have everyone out and supporting our kids, but most importantly, in this time period that we're living, football is a game that's kind of at a crossroads and under attack a little bit. But I know Dublin is a great town, and I would just say go see somebody play every Friday night, and you know 3 other great programs in our community, and we're trying to, up the level of ours, and just support those young people, because uh, they deserve it, and they're going to be our future.
Absolutely. Well said, Coach. And we'll leave it right there. Coach Bruce Lane, the head coach at Trinity Christian, the Crusaders here in Dublin, Georgia. Thank you so much for joining us here on GHSA All Access, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.